Welcome to our Saturday installment of WCAT. I'm McKenna Kemp.
And I'm Victoria Figueroa.
Today's date is February 9th and the day of Ocala's annual cattle drive and cowboy roundup. So make sure to stay tuned to hear about those behind the lassos, the fun activities for the kids, and the blast from the past of the Six Guns reenactment.
The annual cattle drive and cowboy roundup in downtown Ocala celebrates Central Florida's history in ranching and the cattle industry. It's a great event to grab your little cowgirls and cowboys and prepare for a day of fun.
Ocala is known as the horse capital of the world, but there is a rich history behind that nickname. Molly is out in the field to give us a behind-the-scenes look at what put our town on the map.
Thanks, McKenna. It's crazy to think that I lived in Ocala my whole life, but never knew about this amazing event. People line the streets to watch Ocala's 7th annual cattle drive and cowboy roundup to experience a piece of our county's agricultural history.
They wanted to put this together to try to bring back a little heritage history of our background and what this community actually was several, maybe 100 years ago. You know, this was a cattle type area, so in order to kind of bring back some historic memories, you know, we drive these cattle downtown to kind of perk the people up around here to kind of realize what they actually live around or involved in.
The cattle drive aims to educate and inform the community on the prevalence of the cattle industry in Marion County.
We do the cattle drive to just remind people here in Marion County that agriculture is alive and thriving here in this local area, and a lot of people that live in the city, they may never get the opportunity to see a horse, see a cow, be that close, up and personal. So we want to remind people that this county is based in agriculture. That's how Central Florida was started, and we want to remind them that it's still here.
Not only is it educational, but also fun and enjoyable for all.
It's a lot of fun to see the joy in their eyes, because more often than not, they're never going to be able to see a horse or a cow that up close and personal.
Well, until the next time the cows come home, this has been Molly Giverson. Now back to you, Victoria.
I'm right there with Molly. I never knew the background of our small town, Ocala.
You may haven't, but I was born into the horse world and my family taught me this background when I learned my ABCs.
Well, the cattle drive is a great way for the kids to learn their roots and not be left in the dust like Molly and I.
Thanks, Victoria. Ocala's community is and should be proud of their history. From the rounding of the cows to the iconic crack of the cowboy's whip, Ocala adds a lot more to the history books than we may know. Although the cattle drive is very well known for the March of the Cows, there is no slowing down of fun events and activities here at Tuscarora Park.
Well, I work at the Silver River Museum, and we're here helping with the cattle roundup and cattle drive, which is actually put on by the city of Ocala. And we're in charge of the cow hunters camp, which is where I'm sitting, and it's a replica of a primitive camp out on the Florida frontier in the 1800s, where cow hunters would have camped and then they would have rounded up the wild Spanish cattle to take them off and sell them.
It's not hard to see that when a community comes together to help share our past, we do it in the best of ways. With activities ranging from simple cornhole all the way to bull riding, we never run out of things to do.
We like volunteering for things like this because it's interesting, it's fun talking with people, and a lot of folks don't really know about this part of Florida's history.
This has been Jackson Pizzuti here at Tuscarora Park reporting for WCAT. Now back to McKenna.
The kids sure do look like they get to have a lot of fun.
Well, you're right. It makes me wish I was exploring around Tuscarora with them.
Well, don't get too sad. Once we're done with this show, we can head over to the second viewing of the Six Gun reenactment.
Thanks, McKenna. We're out here at Ocala's 7th annual cattle drive, where there's quite a few booths and events to visit, including the old Six Gun Territory reenactment. It's put on by local Florida crackers, and they have some backstory to give us about it.
Well, I was a Six Gun Territory gunfighter in 1969 at age 18, and we started talking and getting back together, those of us that were with Six Gun Territory 4 years ago.
Well, I had a friend called me up and said, hey, we're going to have a reunion for the Six Gun Territory gunfighters and people that work there. I said, well, sign me up.
Well, Cattle Drive contacted us a few years ago, and we were just putting Six Gun Territory back together and asked us to come and perform here, and we've been the Cattle Drive the last 4 years, I believe.
While the Six Gun Territory Shootout entertains many families and children, it also means quite a bit to the reenactors who perform in it.
I think it's unique in that Six Gun Territory was here in Ocala from 1962 to 1984 and was the #1 tourist attraction in Florida before Disney.
It means so much to me because back in the day, that was just routine, and now it's all new again. People don't even know, oh, that's that place out there on 40.
This has been Jackson Miriam reporting for WCAT. Now back to you, Victoria.
This event surely has a lot of fun to be had, and I for sure won't want to miss it next year.
Me neither. It's a great way for families in the community to come together to enjoy the cattle, contest, and cowboys.
Once again, this has been Victoria Figueroa
And McKenna Kemp,
reporting for WCAT.